Hey, Survivor! Welcome to episode 30 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Today, we're going to level up your health and well-being. I know how narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships can take a toll on your health, so I'm giving you permission to do these 6 key preventative screenings. Now, true health isn't just about nutrition and exercise. It's about your lifestyle and your attitude. So, if you're ready to do the work, get your notebook and pen, and let's jump in. Hey, Survivor! Welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Leslie. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you. During the holiday season, heading into this new year, I received a reminder from Banner Health about preventative care screenings that every woman needs. And I made it my priority to get my health appointments booked and done by the end of Q1. Now, as a survivor of narcissistic abuse who grew up in a narcissistic family, had a narcissistic parent, and experienced personal and professional narcissistically abusive relationships as an adult, I came up with 6 key screenings that have helped me to prioritize my health and well-being as a survivor. And just so you know, some of these key screenings are tied to ACEs, or adverse childhood experience related health issues, and I have a bonus screening for you at the end. You are not going to want to miss this. Get your device, your notepad, your journal, a pen, whatever you need to take notes, and let's dive in. Number 1, blood pressure screening. Narcissistically abusive relationships can put you in a perpetual state of fight, flight, or freeze mode and send your blood pressure through the roof if you let it. And high blood pressure increases your risk of coronary artery disease and stroke, which, by the way, are 2 of the top killers in the United States. And, by the way, those are both on the ACEs, or Adverse Childhood Experiences, list of related health issues. So definitely make sure that you get your blood pressure checked. Number 2, HIV screening. HIV, or human immunodeficiency virus, is incurable, but you can take medication for it, and it breaks down your immune system. And some of the risky behaviors associated with HIV are IV drug use, unprotected sex, multiple sex partners, and this is also something to be aware of because narcissistic and toxic individuals will indulge in very risky behaviors as coping mechanisms for what has happened to them. They can have multiple sex partners and really not care. They can be catamaran STD carriers and go around spreading without any thought or care or concern about the health and well-being of others. So you want to make sure that you are on top of your HIV status so that you know what's going on with you regardless of what others are doing. And incidentally, HIV is also on the ACEs list of health-related issues. Number 3, well woman exam. This could include getting weighed, having your breasts examined, and having that lovely pelvic exam that we all enjoy so much when we go to our OBGYN appointments, right, ladies? Anyway, as a woman, Stress can really wreak havoc on our bodies. And some of the ways that this could manifest are in weight gain or other chronic illnesses. Again, if you're dealing with someone, say, in a romantic relationship who is narcissistic and is cheating on you or has multiple partners, etc., is really reckless, then you can also have some issues reproductively, like infertility or things of that nature, due to STDs. So you want to have your well woman exam and make sure that you are on top of that annually. Number 4, chlamydia and gonorrhea screenings. These are common STDs that are treatable, but if left unchecked, can create issues like pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, things of that nature. So you want to make sure, again, that if you are dealing with someone, or if you think you might be dealing with someone who is indulging in risky behavior, who's narcissistic or toxic, that you know what your status is and how you're doing so that you can take care of yourself. And incidentally, these 2 common STDs are also part of that list on the ACEs list of related health issues. Number 5, cancer screenings. This could include cervical cancer, breast cancer, colorectal cancer. It is one of the top killers in the US, and as you can guess, is also on the ACEs list of related health issues. So you want to get those screenings early so that if something does come up, you can address it right away and have a better chance of avoiding the risk of death or just a long, hard battle. And number 6, as promised, is something that I will call a new people screening. And this could be personal or professional. A lot of times we will let people into our lives unchecked. And if we don't know who and what we're dealing with, that could come back and bite us later in terms of getting conned, tricked, manipulated. In the case of a romantic relationship, get a gift that keeps on giving and won't go away in the form of an STD, stress and stress-related illnesses. So you want to make sure to screen new people. And here's some ideas. This is not a comprehensive list or a mandate, but just some ideas for you on how you can better determine who and what you're dealing with. You can Google people, give their social media a scrub, do a background check. You could do this on your own online, or you can hire an investigative agency. Do a core value screening. Know what your core values are, and then ask questions of new people that come into your life. STD screening, like I mentioned before. You may know what your status is, but do you know the status of, say, a new partner or someone who you're considering having as a new partner? Money and financial screenings. How are they with money? What are they, how are they operating in that regard? Behavioral and relational questions. What would they do in certain scenarios as they're interacting with others? How did they handle things growing up? What kind of dynamics did they grow up in? What were they taught? Fact checking, verifying things that you're being told or sold before going all in a relationship. Narcissists lie a lot, and they are very shame-based individuals who have been through their own trauma and may not have the words to describe it, and may be looking outwardly to others, other things, other people for validation and to get their needs met. And they're not going to lead with that when you're getting to know a new person. They're going to kind of find out what your hot buttons are, what your interests are, and mirror you and try to cater to that so that you let them in unchecked because you feel like they're just like you and that you're like-minded and you have the same goals and dreams and aspirations until you don't. Let's take this a step further and talk about why wouldn't someone do preventative screening, especially with regard to new people, given the fact that our interactions with others can impact, as we've seen, our health and well-being. And especially if you are a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you know that it can be stressful, it can be frustrating, it can be depressing, and it can leave you on edge, walking on eggshells, and keep you in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, which is not healthy for you. So why wouldn't you screen new people? A 2012 study that I found may give some clues and also expose some cracks in our system in dealing with narcissism and narcissistic abuse. Basically, this study was done to determine why physicians and nurses ask or don't ask about partner violence. And intimate partner violence against women is considered a serious public health issue. And it is, according to this study, associated with significant adverse health outcomes, not unlike the ones that I've just gone over for screenings. And the upshot of it all, or the results of the study, were that the top barriers to these doctors and nurses asking about intimate partner violence, or IPV, were a lack of time, behaviors attributed to women living with abuse, a lack of training, language or cultural practices, and the presence of the woman's partner. So now if you take these results and you think about the dynamics of a narcissistically abusive relationship, it may shed some light on why people aren't talking about it, why the other people that got played by the narcissist like you did aren't all talking to each other and maybe even asking questions of new people. There's a lack of education and awareness. There's fear, and there's just certain behaviors that happen, like, say, for example, cognitive dissonance or enabling, codependent type behaviors where people are covering for people who are toxic or narcissistic and writing it off or dismissing other people's concerns, that allows this to continue, this behavior to continue, which, as we've seen, can be very detrimental to your health and well-being. Let's review the 6 key preventative screenings for narcissistic abuse survivors. Number 1, blood pressure. Number 2, HIV. Number 3, well woman exam. Number 4, chlamydia and gonorrhea. Number 5, cancer screening. And number 6, new people screening. According to the folks at Banner, quote, "When we detect problems early, we can treat them more effectively and reduce the likelihood of serious harm." If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.